Okay, yeah. Welcome parents of students who are between 8th to 12th class. This program is meant to help you understand the difficulties your child is facing in selecting his career path after 10th or 12th. We are from Pausetive. So before we start, let us just introduce ourselves. Who we are. I am Sanjeev Bhamre. I did my College of Engineering, Pune, Metallurgy. And then I did my management, MBA, from Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management Studies, Mumbai. After that, after working in some companies, I joined TCS in 1996. And I was working in Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, as a management consultant. Here is where I learned a tool called systems thinking, which in this year of 2022 has won a Nobel Prize. So I learned systems thinking in 1996, and I knew that it will be useful to understand why someone succeeds in career despite not having academic brilliance. So with this in mind, I started my work in 1996, and then I had to take a decision. I took a sabbatical in 2002. Sabbatical means a holiday from TCS, unpaid holiday, of course. Where I worked fully on my model. At the end of 5 years, I wrote a book called The Big 5 Myths of Career Building, which was published by Macmillan in 2007. I rejoined TCS in 2007, not in management consultancy, but as a training and development head of North. Here I was lucky to get an opportunity to spot and develop the leadership pipeline for TCS. There were around 9,000 plus individuals, engineers working in TCS, and we had to identify the best leaders who can be groomed. And after several iterations, we shortlisted 118 people. And you will be surprised, all of these 118 people were not excellent in their technical skills of software programming, but they were excellent in their soft skills of communication and collaboration. Then from 2012, I came to Nasik. I started working with Mahesh Rasal, and we formed this company called Pausetive Incorporated. And we started working with graduates of Tier 3 colleges. See, Tier 1 colleges are the IITs, Tier 2 colleges are the VGTIs and COPs, and Tier 3 colleges are the colleges which are in Ahmednagar, which are in Nasik, which are in Jalgaon, where these students find very difficult to get jobs. So we started working with them in developing these soft skills and helping them become employable, get their jobs. I don't know whether you are aware, a NASSCOM survey of 2018 had concluded that only 25% of the engineering graduates are employable. So we started working with these graduates from 2012. From 2019, we have been working with 2 institutions. One, an orphanage in Ahmednagar, another is an vocational institute in Pune. In both these places, we are working with adolescents. Adolescents who are between 8th to 10th class. So this gave us the confidence to develop and design and now launch this program. So what are we going to discuss now today? We are going to help you understand the career selection difficulties which these students face. And based on these difficulties, what help they therefore require to select their career. And given these difficulties, given the help required, What are we offering to help your child? At the end, we'll have a question answer session. So here is the first case. This case is of a Kavish. He's of age 15. He joined one of those online programming classes. You know, you have these classes nowadays, White Hat Junior and others. His two friends had also joined. Earlier, he was planning to become a guitarist because he was an extremely good guitar player and had passed 4 level exams, which is itself a rarity. Now, if you want to advise Kavish, what would you advise him? If he is trying to say that he wants to become a computer software engineer and not a musician, what would you advise him? Tell Kavish that software career is better than music. Yeah. See, this is the difficulty Kavish is facing. He knows software career is better than music, but he doesn't know even music is equally good career than software. Tell Kavish to understand what he really wants. So here you are trying to tell Kavish that whatever happens in software or music is immaterial. You must do what you want to do, and therefore you must spend time in understanding yourself. This is a very beautiful combination. So tell him that you can make career not only in computer but also in computer and music. Tell him to postpone his decision of choosing computer software because new options are always exciting. You know, these adolescents are of age 18, 15, and any new career which they find, which they come across, if they meet people, they find it very exciting. So their career decisions and paths keep on changing every fortnight. This is interesting. The fifth option. Tell him to use music to develop focus and then use focus to make career in computers. Isn't it interesting? Because focus is required in your computer job also. How to develop focus? Use music. Now, which of these responses is right? A natural question you have in mind. To understand this, you must understand what are the difficulties an adolescent is facing when he's making a career decision. And if we are addressing these difficulties, then the response is right. 1. When an adolescent is making a career decision, he has to understand his self. Self means understand his own knowledge of what he has, whether it is mathematics, engineering, history, chemistry, physics, or whatever skills he has, and whatever attitude he has. So this is short and called KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude. So he has to understand himself. He has to find out job opportunities which are available to him with his current set of knowledge and skills. Match the two and decide that he will choose computer software or he will choose music. And while matching these two and while taking this decision, he has to use the decision theory. What is decision theory? Decision theory will help Kavish take such decisions even when the information is inadequate. So decision theory he will have to learn to use. Is this enough? Because remember, he is trying to make this career choice at the age of 15. Kavish is just 15. So how to make the most of the career choice, he will have to find out, because at the age of 15, your choices are likely to go in a different direction. So here is some help for us. Google. You know, Google is the largest company in the world today. So what they did an internal study in 2015 to find out what makes their top performing employees special. You know, why are their top employees so special? What characteristics they have which makes them special? This was called Project Oxygen. After surveying this around 400 plus individuals in their organization, they discovered 8 most important qualities which their top employees have, which makes them special. And they were shocked to discover that STEM skills are not which makes them special. What are the STEM skills? I am sure you must have heard about this word STEM. STEM stands for S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, M for maths. So this STEM's expertise is supposed to be the expertise which all of us know gets us job very quickly. So STEM expertise is in demand today. So Google thought that this STEM expertise makes a person, an employee, special or not special. And they were surprised that it is not so. So what makes these employees special? They found out they are all soft skills. Soft skills of team building, communication, listening, listening to people, not hearing, critical thinking, connecting ideas, coaching, and insights. Insights are creativity. They redid this study in 2018. It was called a study, it was given a name Project Aristotle. And it confirmed that the 7 skills were the top skills which Google wanted. And only after 2018, they started hiring employees which are not from STEM, but which are from anthropology, which are from psychology. This finding that soft skills are more important in a career have been proven right now by various studies done by organizations. Even in TCS, when I was working, when we were trying to find out the best employees who could become leaders, we found out that the soft skills were more important than the hard skills. So, in other words, if Kavish wants to choose his career at the age of 15, he should not only think about his hard skills of computer software or music, but he should also think of the soft skills of communication and collaboration. In other words, if you want to help your child select your career, you must help your child overcome 4 difficulties called IDOS. I have given a name just to help you remember IDOS. This S stands for understanding self. This is the first S. Second S, this O stands for understanding job opportunities. So first is understanding self, finding out available job opportunities which match with this self, and taking a career decision, matching the two using decision theory. It is called ID. So ID, O, S, and the last S is soft skills. So in other words, if you want to help your child to take a career decision at the age of 15 or 18, you have to help him overcome these 4 difficulties through IDOS. So let us try to understand. Let us revisit the Kavish case and see how to apply it. For example, we saw this 5 options. We saw the Kavish case. Now let us look at how these 5 options match with our difficulties. So first was, tell Kavish that soft career is better than music. So what are we doing here? We are trying to address his job difficulty of feeling that software career is better than music. Now what should I do? So Kavish has to be helped to understand that job opportunity is not just understanding the opportunity of software from outside, but also trying to understand the opportunity in music, which he will be able to get. Tell Kavish to further understand what he really wants. Yeah, here we are trying to tell the first S. Help Kavish, ponder, take a breath, take a pause, and help himself to understand what he really wants between software and computer. And there are some techniques to do that. Tell him to choose a career combination of computer and music. Yeah, this is the ideal way where self and the job opportunities are matching. Tell him to postpone his decision because new options are always exciting. Yeah, decision theory always tells us that we should not try to jump to a decision with inadequate information. So therefore it is ideal. So we are trying to process his difficulty by giving him a theory of decisions. And the last option of fifth, whereby we are telling him that he should develop focus by using music and then use that focus to make career in computer, is possible only because your understanding of soft skills are very, very good. And to understand how soft skills are developed, naturally you must understand a bit of psychology. So this is the Kavish case. Let us look at the second case of Anvi. She is a 10th class student, middle class family, academically good student scoring 80+ marks. She wants to choose MBBS because she loves biology. But she's also confused because she also likes chemistry and she feels that she can also make a career in pharma because she loves chemistry. What will you advise her? Tell Anvi that MBBS requires very high marks to get admission and she must be ready to with other options too. Because of the way today's MBBS courses are running, getting a score of 180, 190 is also not enough to get a good college like KM or good medical colleges require very high scores. So we need to tell Anvi that it is okay that you want to get admission, but being a middle class, you will not be able to afford a donation seat which requires a payment of 25 lakhs plus. And therefore you should be prepared with other options too. So this is, you are helping Anvi understand the opportunities in a better way. Second, tell Anvi that marks in chemistry are not good indicators of job skills. This is sometimes we feel that if you get more marks in chemistry, you can have better job skills in chemistry. If you get more marks in physics, you can have a better skills in engineering. If you get more marks in English, you will have a better skills in journalism, literature. Unfortunately, this correlation is not always positive like that. So which means Anvi has to understand how some knowledge gets converted into job skills and some other knowledge does not get converted into job skills. So we have to help Anvi in that. Tell Anvi that biology plus chemistry is also an option. She's thinking of biology with MBBS, chemistry with pharma. So she's thinking biology and chemistry as two different options. Now we can tell her, you can combine them together, called as biochemistry. Tell Anvi that MBBS part takes long time to make money. Now, why are we saying this? Because Anvi is coming from a middle class family. And because in middle class family, you must start earning at the age of 25, from your first job, 24, 25. In MBBS, it is not possible nowadays because you have to do MBBS, then you have to do MS, and then you have to do internship, and then you have to get your first job. So it almost takes the age of around 30, 31 to start earning money. So Anvi should know this. So it is about knowing better about the job opportunities. And naturally, if you observe here, we are trying to tell Anvi a lot of her limitations of money, her limitations of middle class family, her limitations of getting admission with a very high score. And So adolescents find it very difficult to accept the limitations, as you would have also observed in your own house. Why? Because they're adolescents. Adolescent is a phase, it is a transition between being a small child and being an adult. So adolescent is neither a child who can be instructed, who can be told what to do, neither is an adult who can be left to his own because he has enough capacity in himself. So he requires help, but he doesn't want help. So we need to be very careful. We means adults need to be very careful while helping adolescents. Because if you try to help adolescents by telling him things, he's not going to listen. Because he believes he is no more a small child. So you have to understand a bit of. Okay. So let's look at the third case. Jagan. She's an academically average student. Her father is a veterinary doctor. So therefore she wants to become a doctor. But she is very good in drawing. With very little preparation, she stood 5th in the entire Maharashtra state in the elementary exam when she gave it in 8th class. She also passed second drawing exam of intermediate, which is supposed to be more advanced version. But she refuses to believe that drawing is an option for her career. She wants to go for MBBS only. So what would you advise Jaganya? Tell Jaganya that drawing is a better option because she has proved herself to be good in it. So what are you trying to tell her? Tell her that yourself, your knowledge of drawing, your skills of drawing are better than your knowledge of MBBS. And therefore you better choose it. So it is the first test. Tell Jaganya that there are career opportunities available in drawing. So here you are telling her that don't worry, there are a lot of career opportunities in drawing. So let her go to the Google and find out what are those opportunities. So it is about O. But there is a better way of doing this O. Better way of telling her what are the opportunities. Help Jaganya meet people who have made careers with drawing. So second and third, there is a big difference, although it looks similar. So it is therefore supposed to be ID. It helps take a better decision. The third option helps take a better decision than the second option. Tell Jaganya that a consistent engagement with drawing will help her develop the job skills. So this is, many times children do not understand why their knowledge, why their skills develop or don't develop. So we can help Jaganya by telling her that consistent engagement in drawing will help her develop the job skills. Then just by reading theories of biology and chemistry to help her understand how to do, use the skills of MBBS. So so it is about first test, how skills developed in us, which are useful to be in doing a job. And what will you observe here? You will observe here that many students struggle to take side stream career paths. They don't like to choose. So even when their skills are extremely good, for example, in language like German or French, or where their skills are very good in drawing, or their skills are very good in cooking, or their skills are very good in carpentry, they don't like to make careers in these side stream career paths, because they prefer mainstream career paths of engineering and medicine, because either they don't have the options or they don't know what are the job options available in their side stream career paths, or because they feel it is very risky. So in other words, if you want to help students like Jaganya, we need to help her understand that this risk is just a perceived risk, not a real risk. The last case is of Shreyas. Many friends he has, but he doesn't know what to do after 10th class. If you ask him, he says, I don't know. I like X subject more. He likes all the subjects, physics, chemistry, maths. He's not good in sports also to think of sports career. So what would you advise him? Tell Suresh to choose a highway path that will help him choose different options later. What is an highway path? Highway path is the path whereby, see, for example, if you are going from X place to Y place, you don't tell the person about small lanes by which he can go. You tell him the big highways. You tell him you go by S4, then take a left turn on a very big road, and then go inside and then ask for the address and you will get your address. Similarly, you tell Shreyas that you take a highway path. Highway paths are paths in career which help us choose options as we go along. So what are the highway paths? Typical highway paths which students choose? Highway paths are engineering, highway paths are software, highway paths are language like English. Journalism career can be made in any field, right from cooking to sports to anything. So these are highway paths. Software has become a highway path nowadays because of its requirement in every job. So you will tell Shreyas that don't worry, you to choose a highway path. Help Shreyas to focus on soft skills to make his career. So because Shreyas has not decided on any hard skills of mathematics or physics or software or engineering, you tell him to focus on soft skills of communication or collaboration. Tell Shreyas that he must engage in different products to understand what are the hard skills which he can develop. So this is one very interesting way by which we can help the children to understand what are they good at. And help Shreyas to understand the job opportunities which are available in the market by giving him a framework to spot and understand jobs. So we are going to talk about this framework later. So this time we will not talk about it here in details. But it is about understanding job opportunities better. What does this case highlight? It highlights that when a child like Shreya starts thinking about career, it is better to start thinking of career at a much earlier age, 8th and 9th, rather than on 10th, where your choices become very limited because your time is limited. So having understood these 4 difficulties of making career, what are the 4 difficulties? Understanding self, understanding job opportunities, matching the two and being able to take an informed career decision, and understanding the importance of skills. If these are the 4 difficulties your child faces in selecting his career path, what is the help we can give him? Or rather he wants. The first help he wants is how to understand himself. So it is the first test. This is. Child has intellectual capacity, IQ, that he is using in learning subjects like mathematics, language, science, geography. Typically, a normal IQ of a student in a normal course is around 110 to 120. And just to give you more information, a Nobel Prize winner typically has an IQ of 130. So it is not very high. I just want to tell you that. So, but this IQ is not useful unless we convert them into some job skills or useful skills. On the other hand, even when we don't go to school, like Jaganya, we learn skills of drawing, language, sports, music. We learn those skills. We don't require a school course to learn these skills. So, unfortunately, we don't know how to use them in our job, in career. And child also, there are many career paths which are open to a child after 10th or 12th, but a child has no idea of those subjects. For example, he doesn't even know what is economics, but there's a huge career in economics. He doesn't even know anything about psychology, sociology, anthropology, but there's a huge career in these fields. So our child at the age of 15 is not even aware of these subjects. So how will he choose a career course in these subjects? Therefore, to help a child, we need to understand and we need to help him understand a bit of cognitive psychology. This is called cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychology means what? Learning, understanding how we learn things, understand how we learn arithmetic. So if he needs to be helped to understand what is the difference between knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge is a knowledge of mathematics and language. Skill is a skill of drawing and music and sports. And attitude is are the soft skills of communication and collaboration. What is the difference between three and how do they develop? How is knowledge converted into job skills? This was the problem of Anvi. She thought the knowledge of chemistry, she can convert it into a pharmacy skills. This is not as easy as it looks like. So you have to help your child understand how to convert your academic knowledge. You have to help Anvi to help understand how to convert her chemistry knowledge into pharmacy skills. And how can Anvi evaluate her knowledge at the age of 15? How will Anvi know that her chemistry knowledge at the age of 15 is good enough to be used as a pharmacy skill later? What are the skills we learn unconsciously and how can we use them? Like Jaganya, she has learned this skill of drawing unconsciously without any help from the school. But she is not wanting to use it. So we have to help our children use such skills which we have learned unconsciously. So here our job is to help the student understand the combination of KSA. K is knowledge, S is skill, A is attitude required to get any job done. Second help required is about understanding job opportunities. What is the difficulty here? The work environment keeps on changing and jobs are in thousands. One site which works on jobs, it calculated that there are some 11,892 jobs. So in other words, even if you want to tell our child and explain what are these 11,830 jobs, he will not have enough time to understand. So we need a method to understand what jobs are and what job market is. We also need to help our child understand why some jobs are paid differently. Why a waiter in a 3-star job gets only 300 rupees per day? Why the same waiter in a 5-star gets 3,000 rupees a day? And why the same person in an airlines get around 10,000 rupees a day? So to help him understand that, we will use work chain framework. This is a very popular framework useful in managements, jobs, companies, to understand how jobs are made in an organization. So this will help your child understand different jobs like design, marketing, production, how they get created in an organization. What is the difference in these jobs, in their knowledge, in their skills, in their attitude. We also have to help him understand that there is a job market of combined skills. So skill, like we talked about the Kavish case, in Kavish was interested in computer software as well as in music. So there is a job market of combined skill of computer plus software. Software plus music. So similarly, there is a job market, a huge market of accounting plus investment. Do you know which is that? I'm sure you know that, but you just do not know because I'm using a different language. This is the job market of MBAs, management graduates. MBA became very famous just because it brought a new job called finance. Finance is a combination, combination of two skills, accounting and investment. And it became so successful that even today, 50% of the IIT graduates, 50% of the top tier 1 graduates still go to IIMs to study finance, MBA finance. And more importantly, you have to help the child understand the process of monetizing of jobs. As we grow in jobs, sometimes we want money, sometimes we want satisfaction. So when we want money, we should know how to get more money from the skills which I have. This is called the process of monetizing, process of converting my job skills into money. So if he knows this, he will know that one skill can get very high money, and the same skill can also get paid very low money. And when he wants more money, he can shift his jobs. So what is our job here? Here our job is to give him a framework, a work chain framework, we call it, where he can explore job opportunities. The third help he requires is in decision making. He has got information about self, he has got information about the job opportunity, but now he has to decide. Kavich has got information about software, Kavit has got information about music, and now he has to make a decision about should he make a career in software plus music, or only software, or only music. So this is decision making. This is called decision theory. So decision theory helps one understand how to make such decisions. Decisions where information is always incomplete, inadequate, inaccurate. And luckily this subject is taught in MBAs and IIS courses. So it is not very easy to, it is not very difficult to learn it and apply it. And if we help our child to understand this decision theory, he will be able to take these career decisions. He will be able to reduce the risks of uncertain decision. Remember, our child at the age of 15 is taking a very big decision. In the Western countries, in USA and Europe, graduates take their career decisions when they graduate. That means when they are of the age of 21, 22. And we are forcing our children in India to take this decision at the age of 50. So we should help our child reduce the risk of making a decision which might go wrong. So here our job is to help the child appreciate that the decision is always tough. We have to help Jaganya to understand that although she feels drawing is not a career, although she feels MBBS is her career, why drawing is a better option for us, and why taking this decision is very, very difficult for Jagan. And the last, and not the least, is understand soft skills that are required to make most of the careers. As we have seen, the hard skills of accounting, medicine, and engineering, they are non-transferable. You can't transfer this from one job to another job. On the other hand, soft skills are transferable. Whatever jobs you do, you can use this skill in every job. But surprisingly, we do not understand how do we develop them. So we need to understand which soft skills are useful and how do we develop them. So here we should help him understand a bit of science of psychology of emotions and sociology. Because there are only 4 soft skills which he requires to develop. 2 are required to interact with people. And these, as you have seen, because in jobs we are always working with other people, we need to develop these skills of expression and social skills. so that we can work with these people effectively. And 2 soft skills are required to regulate your emotions and to guide your focus. Focus means to guide your attention. Our focus is always getting distracted by friends, by things which are coming from outside, because I like cricket so much, so I get distracted by IPL and I do not study. So you need to help your child understand how these distractions work, how they can be managed, and how they can be negotiated. So here the job is to help them understand the importance of developing soft skills and why these soft skills are useful even in his career, whether he chooses software or whether he chooses medicine, whether he chooses pharmacy or whatever. In other words, career path selection is just the first step. Whether Kavi selects music or music plus computer, whether Jagana selects drawing or MBBS, whether Anvi selects pharmacy or MBBS, whatever the selection is just the first step. The selection is not going to determine our career. What determines our career is how do we grow in these 4 areas. Which are those 4 areas? First is this social learning. Improving our social skills, which means despite having people who are different than us, despite having differences with people, how do we collaborate with them? Many a times when we don't like people, we just walk away from them. But this is not the way to collaborate. We have to learn to go and bypass these differences and still learn to collaborate with them because they have got something to offer to us. Second, improve his intellectual learning so that he improves his expression skill. Expression skills are being ability, it is an ability to say something in very short way, in a very summarized way, and in a very impactful way. So this is an expression skill. Improve his emotional learning. This emotional learning. Why? Because he has to manage his distractions constantly. Whether it is mobile distractions, whether it is friend distractions, whether it is eating distractions. And he has to constantly make choices, motivation learning. Choices of doing X versus Y, prioritizing time and effort. This is called the skill of focus. So, career path selection is not the only step that will help us make our career. What will help us really make our career is these 4 soft skills. Therefore, what is our offer to help your child? Our immediate offer for present, for today, is AP0. AP stands for Adolescent Program. 0 is the first program, therefore 0. It is a career selection program to help your child select his career path based on his current understanding of self and based on his current understanding of job opportunities. They consist of 6 sessions of 2.5 hours each, spread over 2 days. And what do we, at the end of 2 days, what will they take from us? They will take this entire decision support system called IDOS, which will help them take this career decision not only now at the age of 15, but at the age of 18, at the age when they are graduating, at the age of 21, and later also. So what are the details of this program of AP0? First session, we help them understand what are jobs. And how to help them understand what are the jobs? We give them an assignment. Assignment is, for example, in a house we are making a exotic dish like Manchurian. What happens? How the jobs are differentiated, how the vegetables are bought, who cuts the vegetables, how are they cooked, how is they eaten. So all these jobs are happening in our houses. Unfortunately, we don't call them jobs because we eat the Manchurian and we are happy or not happy. But when we go to a hotel to eat Manchurian, all this activity of buying vegetables, cutting vegetables, cooking vegetables, serving Manchurian has been converted into a job. So what is the difference? A difference between the activity which you are doing at home and the activity which is happening in a 3-star or a 5-star restaurant. So there is some difference. What is the difference? So we will help the child understand this difference and help therefore understand what are jobs and how jobs are made. Using this understanding, we have a case of a manufacturing company in the second session, whereby we help them understanding jobs in a typical manufacturing company, either making cars, or mobile, or lifts, or whatever. Okay, so here are all the jobs, and he will understand how design jobs are different than purchase jobs are different than production jobs are different, maintenance jobs are different than marketing and sales. So how these jobs are different but still correlated with each other. In the last session, we will, of the day one, we will help him understand how to understand himself, his own knowledge. You know, he has a knowledge right now. Every child has a knowledge of mathematics and physics and chemistry and science, but he is not able to understand whether this knowledge can be converted into useful job skills or not. So this session is meant to help him understand what is his knowledge and how to evaluate it. Therefore, every session will have a case study or an assignment. There will be intense discussions happening in these sessions where we are not going to talk a lot. Children are going to talk a lot. At the end of it, we'll present the theory of how jobs are made, for example, or how job opportunities should be spotted, how self-knowledge should be looked at. And we will relook at the case or assignment, and we'll summarize and we'll hand them a learning note which will summarize the entire discussion of 2.5 hours. So this is how our sessions will progress. So they are very intense discussions, very intense sessions, where your child is constantly thinking and thinking the whole 6.5, 7.5 hours. By the way, we also offer food and drink, nashta and breakfast. So you don't have to bother sending this breakfast and other things with it. The day 2 is we focus now on the soft skills. You remember KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude. So attitude. We are in session 4. We are going to focus on soft skills. We are going to help him identify the soft skills 3 and how to develop them, how to use his current opportunities in school, in his play environment with his friends to develop these soft skills. In the session 5th, we are going to present to him the career building model, which he is unknowingly using right now, but which he has not been able to put in words, articulate in words. We will help him articulate that. It is called positive career building model. And in the last session, we will start making a career plan for him based on his current understanding of his self and his job opportunities. So naturally, when you are making a career plan with very little information about yourself or your job opportunities, then you have to make plan A. If plan A fails, you have to make a plan B. And if plan B fails, you have to make way for a plan C. So we'll help the child make these 3 plans so that he knows what is he going to do now, next. And naturally, this knowledge is not enough to convert into skills. So therefore, we offer coaching support. Online follow-up sessions are there once a month. So every month, last Saturday of the month, we have these sessions in the evening. They are online sessions where we will talk about all the participants will come and we'll discuss their problems, their questions, resolve their doubts. There is also another method. We have blogs and Facebooks where they can ask these questions and we can give them answers on the Facebook and blogs. And we also have customized help for specific problems. So for example, some children have a very different careers which they are trying to pursue. Like one of the person who came to us last week was having, he wanted to do a career in sound engineering. He was very good in music. So he wants to do a career in sound engineering. So this requires collecting different set of information, finding different set of people. So this is a very customized help for some specific problems. So naturally your next question will be, what are the fees for this? So for AP0 we charge 2,000 rupees for these 2 days, which includes breakfast, tea and lunch for 2 days. So what are your next steps? You have to register yourself, give your information, your profile information, your background, the school from which you have come, and pay the fees. You have to visit a company before the program. Why? Because that will help you understand and appreciate the cases which we are going to take about understanding jobs. If you don't do this, it is okay, but your understanding will be poorer to that extent. And your job is only to get engaged in the session for those 7.5 hours. That's all. There are other programs which we offer, but they are not required now. They will be required by you in the future only if you need help. For example, if you need help in learning to use your emotions of anger, you can use this program of AP1. All these 4 programs are of 2 days each, like our AP0 program. So if you are getting angry very fast, you can learn to use your anger rather than get used by your anger. So this is a very important program which will help you use your emotions rather than getting used by your emotions. Second program is helping yourself to understand what are you, what are your values, what are your vision, what do you want to do in life, and how to go about answering these questions. And you probably are trying to answer this question all by yourself right now. Because if you are having a question of what is God, if you are having a question, what should I do in my life? If you are having a question, is it right to help a person who is not having money, then trying to help a friend who is having money, then you are answering this question, discovering yourself. We will help you in this 2 days program to help to understand how to go about doing this. The third program of 2 days is about understanding and gaining social skills. How to collaborate with people whom you do not agree with. That is very important. It is very easy to collaborate with people whom you agree with. But life is not so easy. We have to learn to work with people whom you do not agree with also. And the last and the most important perhaps is improving your expression skills. This is also of 2 days. This will help you speak less, speak with impact, and speak in such a way that you can summarize the entire perspective in a very short sentence or a word or something. So improving your expression skill. I don't know whether you have heard the story of William Wordsworth, who was one of the biggest writers. When he was asked why was he not writing a letter to his niece, or rather nephew, he said, I am not writing a letter to my nephew because I do not have time to write a letter. I do not have a time to write a letter in 1 page. I have a time to write a letter which will go in 8 pages. do not have a time to write a letter in one page. That is the crux of expression skill. And now let us answer questions and answers, which you must be having right now in your heads. So let us start. Thank you.